All right, welcome to round number 1. We are on the play here. Magic Online crashed, so I did have to reopen it, but our hand looks reasonable. Not outstanding blind, but definitely a keep, I think. And I will just lead on Blackleaf Cliffs and pass the turn. Alternatively, I think leading on Bloodstained Mire is fine, since it sort of still gives us the option to fetch like Overgrown Tomb into play tapped, or both if we have to. The more that I talk about it, the more that I actually like that line, so that I could potentially play Ooze next turn without taking damage from a shock land, especially because this isn't a green fetch. If this is a green fetch, I might prefer to play Blackleaf Cliffs. I think now that I've talked it through, I prefer it this way. Okay. Looks like some Affinity. So this Kolaghan's Command and Lightning Bolt are going to be great. Alright. So I might not cast Ooze. I still want to protect my life total, and I do really want a green source. But there is a strong temptation to bolt this Ornithopter because they have Springleaf Drum. It could slow them down quite a bit. This sort of setup also would indicate Galblast, I think. Otherwise, there's not a ton of incentive to cast this Ornithopter. Unless they have like another Ornithopter. And they just wanted this one to be able to attack next turn if they had like plating or something like that. I think I'm going to choose to bolt this to try and interact with my opponent's Springleaf Drum. If they do have another Ornithopter, then I guess they kind of got me. But if I just play Ooze, have it get Gale Blasted as a shock, and then move from there, we're kind of not very happy. So I think I'm actually just going to terminate this, play land tap now that I do terminate. Kolaghan's Command I really do want a 2-for-1 on, and it's kind of weird for us to not kill this immediately. Our opponent, if I just shock and pass and don't kill this, my opponent knows exactly what's up. I think we're just going to take this line, keep our life total high, wait for a 2-for-1 with our K command. The problem with this line is if I draw a land, I'll be incentivized to cast Bloodbraid Elf, not do something with my K command. So all right, land tapped. K command involving this cranial plating dying and something else getting shocked, probably Blink Moth. Okay. Well, in that case, destroy this, shock this. Nothing like the old Shatter Shock. So now they're just light on artifacts, so Ravager can't do too much harm. Oh, another Overseer. That's a little scary. This probably hits something, but isn't guaranteed. Maybe hits a Galblast. I think I would much rather do this than Thoughtseize plus Ooze Eat. Tarmogoyf, not the removal spell we wanted, but still a fine way to help us put on pressure, especially with the follow-up Bloodbraid Elf. Plus, our life total is really high, so it's not the end of the world. Another Ravager. Okay, well, that's starting to get a little scary. I wonder why my opponent didn't animate their other Blink Moth to put their counters on. So if I block there, they're going to have to sack. I guess they would just sack like Drum and this and put that on there, which is maybe fine for me. No. I mean, if they sack Drum, then they don't have any mana up, so they can't, like, animate a land. And then I can, like, find Kolaghan's Command. Or even Terminate, and then they have to, like, make this big. Maybe they would sack this instead of Drum for that reason. No, but they're also sacking this. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to make this happen. Yeah, so they don't need to sack this yet or at all, since they can use this Ravager to sack that Ravager. But this still means that they don't have any mana up, excuse me, because they don't have an untapped creature, which I'm fine with. I just don't want them to be able to animate a Blinkbond Nexus. If I can find a way to kill this, I would much rather the counters go on this. Unfortunately, we drew Scavenging Ooze, so I have one more shot at hitting removal spell. Best case scenario, we hit Kolaghan's Command, but okay, that's not great. Well, we're in some trouble. Interesting they lose the Ravager anyway. Pretty sure I'm on chump block duty. Don't think just taking a whopping 7 is great. Welding Jar is not good for me. Yeah, maybe, I guess with 2 Blink Moths, probably keeping the Overseer is better. So I wonder if I was supposed to kill the Overseer if I found a removal spell? I don't think so. Yeah, I mean, now they just have this, like, 7/7 that isn't activating anyway. So, yeah, I think I'm contented having done it the other way. Okay, so this is interesting. So they're, like, effectively attacking for 10, right? How many creatures do we even have in the yard? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? And I can gain 3 life this turn, 4 life next turn. Just means I can, like, sort of race. Alternatively, I could go ooze. I mean, I guess my ooze becomes bigger than their Steel Overseer eventually, but then they're just pumping these actually next turn, so that doesn't make a lot of sense. I can't just take 10, I'll die to these next turn. 3, 4, 5. So I do have to be blocking this. So I probably just play ooze. And then block with one of them. So I'm still bashing. Obviously, like, Gal Blast off the top is pretty bad. I mean, there's a lot of things off the top that are pretty bad for me. I can't believe we're this far behind at this point in the game. There are just a lot of threats. A lot of threats over there. Alright, just a Darksteel Citadel. That's good for us. Yeah, still on the same plan. I mean, I'm gaining life. I guess I don't have to chump block here. Let's see what my opponent does. I need to... No, because I can only gain 5 over the course of these turns, right? Now that I've played it this way. So they're only attacking with this one Blink Moth anyway. Alright, well. Now we don't have to worry about any of that. Removal spell, please. No, it's a Bob. So, Bob gain 3, make this a 6/6. I mean, I have to make this an 8/8 to be able to punch through, which I can't do. So, not right now. So maybe that was the problem. Maybe I was only supposed to play 1 ooze. I wonder if I attack. This just gets eaten by this. I guess this is effectively a 3/3 here as well. And they couldn't eat this, so I guess they'd eat both of these and take not enough. So I don't think I don't think we can go for that plan. Just not getting enough done. Have to play the Dark Confidant here. And say go. I think I might have screwed up. Maybe it was just 1 ooze that turn. And attack with Bloodbraid. Just figured at this stage of the game I just wanted the additional bodies. And I mentioned that this would be a 3/3 in combat. They would animate it, be able to block, activate this, and then also they wouldn't have been able to animate this other one to put a counter on it, but they would have been able to use its ability to make this a 3/3 until end of turn. So couldn't really jam there. What have we found? Like a Signal Pest, a Vault Scourge. Something of the sort. Springleaf Drum, hopefully. We'll see. Pay 2 life, but... Oh no, paid 1 life. Okay. Vault Scourge it is. Make sure we make green here. So how many creatures do we have left? I haven't recounted. Jeez. Revealed Liliana. Ouch. That's not going to help a lot here. 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 3 more creatures. So, I mean, I could get to the point where these trade, which I'd be absolutely okay with. So, I guess I bash with ooze. 1, 2, 3. Do I bash with anything else? They only have the 2 blockers here. I mean, they can animate this instead of blocking with Vault Scourge. I haven't found another ooze, so like, we're really incentivized for creatures to die here. Kind of don't like my Bob dying for free though. Like they just make a 3/3. So maybe I leave Bob back. I mean, they probably don't want this to die, right? So they're probably just going to, like, eat these 2 guys. Maybe I do just attack with this, then. Tarmogoyf, Bloodbraid Elf, Ornithopter. 9. They have Welding Jar, though? They do have Welding Jar. Is it worth getting through the Welding Jar? Probably not, actually. Yeah, I guess I'm still supposed to wait. That's why we double check. Star Confidant might kill me. I wonder if they're going to sack the Steel Overseer here, actually. No, okay. Just looked like they might have been setting up to, like, animate, activate, and then just, like, try to kill me through the air really quickly, but I guess that just matches up really poorly against my board. Probably better off putting counters, but, like, my go wide plan looks so good here. Let's say I'm effectively at 7, though. 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I'll cast this. Assuming I hit a 4-drop off Dark Confidant, which hopefully we don't. But if I did, oh shoot, I'm dumb. Yeah, don't know why I wasn't counting for that. It's too early. 4, 6, 7. Yeah, so I will actually die if I hit a 4-drop. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Gosh, I'd die if I hit a 3 again as well. Well, that's not true. I guess I can eat with the stuff, the trigger on the stack if I really want. Not enthused about that idea, but I might have to. I'm just going to be at 13 here. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see if they activate Steel Overseer now or not. Okay, they do not. So there's no incentive for me to activate now. What's with the Lilianas? Alright. So... pretty dead now. I mean, I guess... let's see, my opponent's at 12. I have eat. They have no cards. So if I, like, Dreadbore this, they Welding Jar it, but it's tapped. I mean, they activate it. Block 2, 4, 6, 9, eat. Do we just have it? I guess we just have it. 2, 4, 6, 9, eat. Just as long as I don't tap a green source. I should probably count this again. Oh, wow. I almost clicked OK there. That would have been so sad. Dreadbore this. They Welding Jar. Block 2, 4, 6, 9. 3 ooze activations, Ornithopter, Tarmogoyf, Bloodbraid Elf. Exactly enough. No cards. Not going to gain life. Can't animate this. Alright, looks good. This game took way long, though. Especially with me losing like 4 minutes before the match even started. Sure. Yep. They jar it. Make sure I don't misclick here. Green, use a green. Bloodbraid Elf. Tarmogoyf. Alright. That was definitely a tight one. Why do we have 14 cards in our sideboard suddenly? Why did our Hazoret not take? That's unfortunate. We're supposed to have a Hazoret. Is there other card? Oh, it's because it crashed before I... Darn it. Before I joined the league. Alright, well, that's unfortunate, but here we are, I guess. We'll be missing that in mirrors and against control decks and such. But we don't need it right now, at least, I suppose. I guess we're playing with a 14-card sideboard. I definitely like Grudges. Angers are fine. Brutalities are okay. It's just like more removal. I definitely don't want Thoughtseizes, but I'm okay with Inquisitions on the draw. They're a little worse, but I still like them. I do not like Veils here very much. I would actually rather have Brutalities in a lot of cases. Though it's possible I want Finxes. Having Finxes and Angers in at the same time is kind of silly, but these are just not great in this matchup because you're just never blocking. Like ground pounders most of the time you don't get to block. That game we did a bunch, but it was kind of a unique game in that sense. Obviously the Grudges. I do like this Lily quite a bit. K-Command Pulse. Like all our threes are insane. I could cut some Bobs for Finks. Bobs are obviously a little bit of a liability in this matchup. I don't know if that's right. I mean, it makes my Bloodbraids like slightly better as well. I don't know about that. I don't know about that decision. I like everything else I did. I don't know about that. Maybe I'm supposed to have a couple foams. I don't think so. Like I think my removal otherwise is good enough. I'll keep his hand just banking on Grudge. And I'll have to play this game a little bit faster. That game went pretty long, had some interesting turns. Like I said, we lost the 4 minutes up front. Even outside of that, I'm still, what, like 2-3 minutes behind my opponent, so we'll still have to catch up a bit, but I don't think it will be a huge problem, obviously, in this matchup. We can play quite fast if we need to. There were just a lot of interesting decision points that game. Some that I think I screwed up. Some that we did all right in. At least we were able to execute the go-wide plan in the end before we died to our Dark Confidant flipping Lily on us. Alright, like I said, we're keeping on the back of this Grudge. Might be a little slow, honestly, on the draw, but we'll see how fast our opponent's hand is. It's fast. Turn 1, 2 drop. And it's Ravager. The fact that it's Ravager might help us a bit. Oh, there's another Opal. Alright, not quite all of their cards. But anyway, the fact that it's Ravager might help us a little bit here, not like plating, because they're going to be a little disincentivized from like just eating a bunch of artifacts this early and trying to put it on something when I have mana up. So I assume we're just going to end up taking 3 here, maybe 4 if they like, yeah, want to eat something like that. But I doubt we'll take more than that. Grab a tomb. They are not unlikely to have like a Gal Blast. Obviously, they could just fire it off right now, so that doesn't do anything. Yeah, I guess I'm just want to Grudge. There's like a mild temptation to Brutality this Ornithopter first. So I might lose my opportunity to do that, but bring the drum. Opponent spent a mana. Kind of want to Grudge this Ravager now. They probably, well, yeah. I'm gonna Grudge this now. Hopefully they don't have like Spell Pierce as their last card, I suppose. Maybe this first plays around. I guess even if they do, it's not like monumentally bad. No, it's pretty bad. White mana. Are they just going to eat it? No, they're just animating. Okay, sure. Yep. So best case scenario, we draw like basic forest, or really just a non-pain land, I suppose. Then I get to brutality this, pitching something at least for drain. All right, we did not. Really do feel like they have the Galblast. Actually, I guess they don't have Metalcraft right now. So if I'm convinced they have Galblast, I'm probably supposed to 3-mode this. Then set it for Grudge this. It also plays around Spell Pierce if they were like sandbagging it. And I have plenty to discard here. Make my Ooze a little better if we ever have the mana for it. This also taxes their mana a little bit. Again, it does sign us up for taking a hit from this as opposed to leaving up Grudge, which is why we wanted the third mana source. But that's all right. Okay, so they don't have anything in hand, but we're not that worried about pitching the extra creature that we just don't need. Yeah, we'll see what happens this turn. Fortunately for us, it's hard for our opponent to deploy a threat and hit us. All right, we took a hit. Can't even do that and hold up Grudge. I guess we're just signed up for holding up Grudge now. I'm not going to 2. Man. Mana base not being nice to us this game, unfortunately. They probably had something to Inquisition that turn too. Alright. Spire. Scourge, sure. Wow. Well, we are probably not winning. I mean, I can like Grudge this. Untap, hit land, pulse this. And if it's a fetch land, we're just dead to both these getting animated if they draw any land. Plus, it's like hard for me to find another removal spell for this. Well, I think I'm just behind enough that I gotta try. Man. Would have been very different to be able to cast that last turn. Oh, that's unfortunate. Alright, well, we're dead. I guess I'm supposed to represent something this turn instead of playing Tarmogoyf, but I don't know that our opponent would really be willing to play around much there. Man. Oh, we would have been able to live through that draw, too. But it still would have been very bad for us. So the question is if I want like Fulminator over Finks. It would have been much better looking that game, but to be fair, we wouldn't have changed the result. I might have too many elves here even. I could even bring in Fulms over Confidants, like I said. I don't hate 2 Fulms here. Let's try that. It's a lot of 3s, but sort of makes our Bloodbraids better. Yeah. Hard to pass up on. Bolt, Goyf, K command. Especially with the Twilight Mire, I think I'm pretty incentivized to leave up Bolt on turn 1. So we're going to lead on Blackcleave Cliffs. We can still cast Tarmogoyf on turn 2 without paying any life to our mana base. Drum. Just drum. Alright. Well, Goyf can certainly get Gal Blasted, but gotta do that the other way. Good old Filter Lands on Magic Online. Well, at least we have Bolt Bolt, but this is coming down a bit too late. That's not great for us. Opponent wisely obviously sandbagged the Knight, so I didn't have an opportunity to bolt it. I think I kind of need to get in there for 3 here, so we'll do that. Best case scenario, we draw basic swamp and probably win this game pretty easily. Outside of that, if my opponent's hand is at all reasonable, we're going to be in trouble. Maybe their hand is bad and they kept it on the back of Moon, but we will see shortly. I mean, if they have like Etch Champion here, I basically can't win without drawing Swamp. Okay. Alright. Well, this might be a little tough. I guess I definitely can't have that get big and still win this game. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely keeping this hand every time. Hey, that's one we can cast. Doesn't do a lot here. I guess it does potentially grow my Tarmogoyf. So guess that matters. That's relevant. Should be happy about that one. It's not basic swamp, but it's not a lot else we can do. Kind of need my opponent to brick off here. Because if they do, we are ahead on board. Pretty sure I save this. Don't just like get in the 1 extra point of damage, but could be wrong. Also, blowing up land just definitely doesn't matter. It's not changing much. All right, sweet. They had a land. Hopefully their other card is also a land. Kind of needed it to not be an artifact. Yeah, I mean, I'm taking it. We're not interested in jumping. I'll get the, I mean, I get the 1 extra point of damage. Ooh, they even sacked the Darksteel Citadel for me. I guess that makes sense. There's not really another artifact that they want to sack. Womp. All right. 6 damage. Kind of need them to brick again. This doesn't feel like a brick. Vault Scourge. Yep. Okay, so their Arcbound Ravager is officially bigger than my Tarmogoyf. That was pretty rough, too, that it's a Vault Scourge. More fetch lands to rub it in. Need that swamp. Okay. All right, this game's spiraling out of control, unfortunately, but if we find swamp, might still be okay. Probably not, actually. I kind of need swamp additional. I mean, maybe grudge. No, I kind of just need an additional removal spell at this point. Unless they, like, go in on this Vault Scourge. No. It's a lot of lands. A lot of lands and none of them basics, unfortunately. We only have the 4, or 3, really, when we're talking about Bloodman. Only have the 3 basics. Yep. Another 3 damage here. All right. Well, if we find the basic swamp, I guess we have a few more things to be able to cast here, so. Brutality doesn't really solve the issue, though. But it leaves back Ornithopter so they don't die to Cake Command, I suppose. Shatter Shock them. Attack for 6. Alright. Now we definitely have the tools to get there if we find basic swamp. Alright. Just dead now. Unfortunately. I don't know. Maybe I was supposed to... that doesn't really help. Yeah, I couldn't really do that. Never mind. Yep, just dead in the air. You don't even have to attack with Ravager, and there's no incentive because if I've drawn Lightning Bolt, and I try to Lightning Bolt to save myself, then I still just die to the Ravager, so. Oops, not meaning to click on that. All right, I'll see you in the next round.